Now that we've talked about positioning and our picks and how they fit and everything, we need to start playing what are known as roll patterns, because the essence of the Scruggs style banjo playing is taking a melody line and embedding it, if you will, into a series of notes which are a pattern. Now, my right hand down here is going to display, and I'm going to talk about four. There are certainly more than four patterns, but there are four basic patterns which you will need to own. You need to play these in your sleep. You need to play these without much thought to get them right. The first roll is called a forward roll, and it consists of three notes. One with the thumb, I'm going to play the fifth string. One with the index finger, I'm going to play the second string. And one with the middle finger, I'm going to play the first string. So those three notes, T-I-M, playing strings 5, 2, 1, constitute one forward roll. Now, because a lot of our music is played in 4/4 time, and that's a three-note pattern, we have to come up with a roll pattern, and I should say Mr. Earl Scruggs has come up with this, where you play 2 and 2/3 forward rolls, and you get 8 notes. And so that is going to be a pattern that we know as the forward roll pattern. And here's 2 of them in a row. And what you want to do is you want to do 35,000 of those or so until you can do those without any thought. Then we have a backward roll, which is just the opposite. We're going to play strings 1, 2, 5 with our middle, index, and thumb. And we'll do the same thing to get an 8-beat or an 8-note measure. We'll play 2 and 2/3. And 2 of them will sound like this. Now let me stop at this point and mention that some students, when they begin, can't tell the difference, and so I'm going to demonstrate the difference right here between, say, a forward roll pattern, which is just one forward roll after another, and a forward roll pattern that lets that 9th note out and plays the 8-note series. One forward roll after another. 8-note pattern. They should sound very different to you. All right, our third roll is called by different names. Some people call it a forward-backward because it has both elements in it. Mr. Scruggs refers to it as a reverse roll. So what I'm going to do is start in on the 3rd string with my thumb, and I'm going to play a forward roll, T-I-M, a 5th string with the thumb, and then I'm going to come back with a backward roll. And if you were counting, that's only 7, so I need one more note, 1st string, to make my 8. So slowly, a reverse roll pattern sounds like this. And 2 of them. last roll pattern, we have a double thumb. We actually have taken this from the guitar players of the world, and this one feels different than all the rest of them because you play a thumb and then the one finger, and then before you play the other finger, you play the thumb again, hence double thumbing, and then the last finger. So you have 4 notes, which if you just do twice, you'll get our 8-note measure. If we alter that one little bit by taking the second 4 notes and starting with the 4th string instead of the 3rd, it could sound like an alternating bass note picking on the guitar. Now, all this talk about string sequences I'm playing, I need to tell you that it's not the string sequence that determines the name of the roll. It's the sequence of your fingers and thumb. So a forward roll pattern, while the one I showed you started on the 5th string and played like this, is only one way to play a forward roll. Another way would be to start on the 3rd string and play that same pattern. And the same with all of the patterns. You can start on any string, and sometimes you have to get the melody in. But these 4 roll patterns must be owned and operated by you without so that you're almost not thinking. I say it this way: when I'm playing it, I almost am thinking it's like someone else is playing and I'm just listening, because it's so automatic. And by the way, if you think you're getting to be pretty automatic on it, the way you can really tell is to hold a conversation with somebody while you're playing the roll pattern, or even harder, read a book. Open a book that you have that's not just a comic book necessarily, and read something while you're playing the patterns. Now, one more thing about these patterns is they will not sound good until you reach a certain speed. And you cannot reach a certain speed until you have reps on them at a slow speed. You've probably heard the old adage, practice makes perfect. That's wrong. What you have is perfect practice makes perfect. So the trick is to do things as slowly as you can do them perfectly correctly, and then build the speed up. Here is the roll patterns done one after another. I'm going to mix them up for you a little bit and play them fast, and you'll hear the difference.